Welcome back. We're speaking with the Chief Prosecutor, Luis Moreno-Ocampo, about the arrest warrant issued against Sudanese President Omar al-Bashir and the possibility of investigating Israel for war crimes. Before we get back to our debate, we have the results of our chat room poll. We asked, should a world body investigate and prosecute nations and leaders? 82% of you said yes, while 18% said no. So people overwhelmingly in favor of what you do. 82% against 18% there. You came under a lot of criticism when Omar al-Bashir was indicted, and I want to play for you some of the criticism that we had here on Al Jazeera. Just a few weeks ago we interviewed Franklin Graham. He's the son of Billy Graham, the very well-known American evangelist. He himself, Franklin Graham, is an evangelist. He's worked with the Sudanese government on humanitarian issues, and this is what he said in the interview. Take a listen.
Right now, the people that we're wanting to help, the people whose lives that we're wanting to save, are more at risk today because of what the ICC did last Wednesday. Mr. Bashir, President Bashir, we need him at the table right now. He is the one who signed on to the Comprehensive Peace Agreement. He is the one, I believe, that can also help to bring stability to Darfur. Okay. But if you want to alienate him, then he's not going to come to the table, and he's going to play up to his constituency, his political base, and that's exactly what's happened. You have 8 agencies now that are being expelled because of what the ICC did.
Very strident criticism there, and I was wondering if you could just tell us what Franklin Graham was saying there was that the consequences of the ICC's action has been pretty serious. Omar al-Bashir has expelled something like 13 aid organizations, and as a result, there are going to be many thousands of people in Darfur who are now going to be the victims of that, who are going to be starving.
But expelling the humanitarian organization is confirming that he wants to exterminate these people. So expelling this organization is confirming he's a criminal, he has to be arrested. So blaming the prosecutor for the activity done by the criminal, I think it's wrong. The law has to be clear. The facts are Mr. Omar al-Bashir attacking these people in the villages, remove them, and then when they're in the camps, they're in the desert. They will die without receiving food and water. And at the beginning he was blocking, and we were saying hindering humanitarian assistance is a crime. And the judge called extermination. And after now, they are expelling humanitarian, confirming the crime. So if you want to stop the crime, stop the criminal, arrest the criminal, basic.
But doesn't this raise the question that you have to measure your legal obligations against what is actually going on the ground?
I believe what happened on the ground is an extermination. The judges say that. So what I had to wait? There are 2 million people who will be exterminated. 5,000 persons dying each month. We have to wait. My role is to present evidence to say this is what's happening. That's my role, and I did it. I will keep doing.
Well, let's go to the phones again. We have a caller. Charles, you're calling with your question. Go ahead.
Thank you very much for taking my call. I've been wanting to put this question directly to Mr. Moreno-Ocampo. We are obviously watching with keen interest the developments which are happening in Darfur with the head of state of Sudan. But this situation is very similar to what is happening in northern Uganda, where the ICC have issued an arrest warrant against the Lord's Resistance Army commanders, including the leader. But it's a known fact that the government forces have carried out atrocities against the civilians. But the ICC have not done anything to issue any arrest warrants against the government forces. I would be very interested to find out what you have to say, sir.
Okay, thanks. Thank you, Charles.
Thank you for the question. Let me explain how we select the cases. We choose the gravest cases. In northern Uganda, obviously the gravest cases after 2002, not before. I cannot investigate before 2002, and there were serious allegations against the government before. But after 2002, the gravest cases were committed by the Lord's Resistance Army, no doubt. In Darfur, the gravest cases were committed by al-Bashir and his troops. However, we did also a case in Darfur against rebel commanders who attacked the peacekeepers in Haskanita bases. Why? Because peacekeepers are protecting millions of people. So they kill 12 peacekeepers. But killing 12, you You destroy the protection of millions of people. That's why we did the case against the rebel commanders. For us, it's the law. We don't care who are the criminals. We have to protect the victims. That's my mandate.
Let me ask you this. There has been some criticism that the ICC will go after leaders in developing countries, in poor countries, but will not go after leaders in developed and rich countries. I mean, this was alluded to by one of our callers earlier on, that there is a double standard at play here.
I have no doubt the world has double standards. So I am Argentinian. In South America, we say, everything to my friends, to my enemies, the law. So we know what is double standard. But that's why I'm so privileged to be the prosecutor of this court, because this is the beginning of a change in the world. We are trying to change the world. And then I cannot make political decision to prosecute who has to be prosecuted. I had to choose cases according with the gravity, and my first choice was Congo, 5,000 people killed. Then Northern Uganda, 2008 person killed after 2002. And these were my first two choices. Then the Security Council came with Darfur case, even bigger. Colombia is a big case. 5,000 people were killed. But in Colombia, there are national cases. Colombia is prosecuting guerrilla members, paramilitary members, 30 members of the Congress. And in part, they are doing that because we are here. So I think it's a process we are trying to change the rules, this double standard.
You know, in the reality of the world we live in today, can you honestly say that you could see a prosecution against, say, a United States leader for war crimes?
I had to follow the evidence with no fears, with no favors. I would do that.
Okay, let's go to another caller. This is Miriam calling from Arizona. Miriam, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Mariam. I want to ask Moreno-Ocampo. We would like to thank you so much for what you've done for that whole community. They really need help. And Omar al-Bashir is a real criminal. And we want to know if he will get away with his crime, if there is this process going on. We want him to face justice. Today, tomorrow, next year, anytime. We want him to face justice. And thank you so much, Moreno-Ocampo. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. Look, I'm a prosecutor. People can criticize me or support me, and I had to make my job in the same way. So I had to follow the law. That's my contribution, and that's what this court is trying to do: is help the world to be safer, better, no more massive crimes.
What is the relationship between the International Criminal Court and national courts?
That's an interesting system. This is a system based on the coordination between national courts. They have to do the job. They have the primacy. If they fail, we intervene. So we don't need to intervene when they are doing the cases. That is our case. And in fact, in Iraq, for instance, I could not do Iraq because Iraq is not a state party. US is not a state party. But there were 25 state parties involved in the conflict. And we find some crimes committed by national of three countries. But we went to see there, and in these countries, there are national cases against these people. And then we had to stop. So the rules is, if the national judges are doing the case, I had to stop.
We have another caller, Abdullah, calling from California. Go ahead.
Yes, my question is, people are dying as we talk in Iraq. And whoever started this war was still enjoying their life and is still alive. How come President Bush, he started the war with no legal means, everything that he said was a lie, and he's alive, and nobody is after him?
Okay. All right, Abdullah, thanks for your question.
It's a very important question because aggression crime, start a war, is not yet defined. And you have an opportunity to discuss this because in 2010, in Kampala, in Uganda, all the states will discuss the possibility to define this crime. So there's a chance in which people like you can discuss this issue and promote the idea that, yes, there has to be a crime.
So the court does not yet have a definition of aggression, of an aggressor?
The state did not have reached an agreement on aggression crime as a crime. And they postponed the decision, and in 2010 it will be discussion on that. So it's a very important discussion, because if we would like a better world, we need a law defining the war as a crime. But in the meantime, I can do nothing.
We only have about 20 seconds left, and I want to get this in. Do you foresee action against individuals like Robert Mugabe or against the individuals who run Burma at the moment, the Burmese junta?
Mugabe or Burma are not the parties. I can do nothing.
Okay, and what about terrorism and drug trafficking?
if terrorists commit massive crimes as crimes against humanity, could be, but not as terrorists themselves.
I'm afraid we don't have any more time. Thank you very much for being with us. And thank you for joining us. Remember, if you have any questions or comments, you can send them to riz@aljazeera.net. Riz is back next week. From me and the team, goodbye.